lifeline.
Your contention with me may be, I'm not an illiterate. So before we go deeply into this discourse, I want us to know who a marriage illiterate is. Number one, if you have not read a marriage book in years, you are a marriage illiterate. Number two, you've not attended any training on marriage in months. Number three, you don't know anything about temperament, the word temperament. Number four, you know nothing about love languages. When you see people talking to us and they are bragging that they know marriage, and you ask them, what is marriage metamorphosis? That's number five. You know nothing about marriage metamorphosis, and you've been married for years. You are an illiterate. You don't know anything about adjustment in marriage, and you are bragging, I've been married for years. What is adjustment in marriage? And when there's need for adjustment, you turn into battle, because you don't know that adjustment is one of the principal things that must be in your marriage if your marriage must be good. You don't know anything about 8 desperate needs of your wife all over the world. Wherever we are privileged to minister to, in churches, in organizations, in companies, I usually ask them, what is the first need of a woman in marriage? And people always tell me, number one need is money. Some people will say number one need is love. Surprise, surprise, a lot of women do not even know their need in marriage. But a recent research pointed that number one need of a woman in marriage is not money. Number one need of a woman in marriage is not love. Number one need of a woman in marriage is not care. Number one need of a woman is not attention. Number one need of a woman is protection. When a woman does not feel protected, they will even run away from their billionaire husband.
Family lifeline. Love is the core. The home is the front.
IK!
That's how
IK! Where is this guy? IK!
Oga!
Where are you? Come here. Let's come and go to the market for me.
Oga!
What are you doing? Why are you panting like this? Come on, take this thing from me, Daddy. You are going to the market to buy me those things. You are buying milk, 5,000 naira. Salt, 2,000 naira. Oil, 7,000 naira. Fish, 10,000 naira. The total is 24,500. Did you hear me?
Okay, oh.
You take this money and don't be late. Did you hear that? Please go quickly. Excuse me. What is my extent? It's when I send this boy a message. He doesn't come back. It's 3 o'clock. My goodness.
the front. That's how you and me get to be all God wants us to be.
Oga. IK. Oga. What's the problem with you? Why are you just coming? Look at the time. This is 3 o'clock. This is 1.
Oga. Oga, I waka everywhere. The list wey you give me, I waka everywhere. I buy milk. Oga, I buy oil. Oga, I buy fish. But you see total, I waka for market, I no see.
IK, which one is total again?
Oga, the total wey you write for the list now.
IK, I asked you to buy all these things I listed in the paper. The combination of everything is total.
Oga, combinator. Oga, no be combination I see. Oga, na total I see. Na which I dey find for market like Oga. So tey I even see one man for market. I come give her money make she help me buy total. I come dey wait. Before you know, I just sleep comot. As I wake, she no even come. Even the total, Oga, I no even see.
How much did you say you give to the woman?
Oga, na 3,000 I give her. 3,000.
Yeah, 3K. 3, for what?
For total. Oga, even save for the list wey you give me na 24,000 wey I suppose give her but because say money no reach I go give her 3,000.
Haike, you are illiterate.
Oga illiteracy. Oga, my name no be literacy. Oga, my name na Ikemefuna Okechukwu, no be literacy.
Shut up! Illiteracy is not a disease, it's a disaster.
Family lifeline. Family lifeline. Family lifeline. Family lifeline.
You see, there is something called illiteracy. Illiteracy is when you don't know how to read and write. Then they say you are an illiterate. But do you know that you can go to school, but you are illiterate in so many areas of your life? One area where people are illiterate nowadays is in the area of their marriage. They seem to know very little about marriage. That is why you see professors divorcing their wives. You see pastors neglecting their family. You see learned people, doctors, actresses, top politicians, big people, business tycoon. A lot of celebrities, they end up in bad marriages, separating from their wives, destroying their marriages. Now, in this episode of Family Lifeline, I will be talking about don't be a marriage illiterate. My name is Bisi Adewale, your family coach. I will be talking seriously about this immediately after this break. I will be right back.
Family lifeline.
You have many bitterness in your heart and you are not ready to let go and you are not discussing with your spouse. I met a couple in a program recently. During our program, we made all couples to sit down and discuss their problem, no matter how bitter or difficult or how the issues are. So they sat down and they discussed. That is when this woman now opened up about a case that happened in their marriage 25 years ago. And she carried the bitterness till that day. Wow. I was shocked. The husband was shocked. Everybody was shocked when the husband shared the thing publicly with us, with the permission of the wife. And that day they were able to settle. So if you are keeping bitterness with your wife, you have bitterness in your heart, and you are not ready to let go, you are not even giving room to communicate about it, you are an illiterate. You are very proud and cocky at home. Proud and cocky husband will never listen to the counsel of their wives. You see what? You are the head of the family. You have the final say in the house as the husband. But your wife is having the quarter final says and having the semi-final says. That is for real men. Is there any decision I will take in my life without sitting my wife down and ask for her input? And most of the time, my input plus an input make decisions stronger, better, and sweeter. And at the end of the day, God take the glory, we take the blessing. Can you imagine this? But an average cocky husband will not listen to the wife. He can't listen to correction, can't listen to any support. Many of them will even walk out of their house without telling their wives where they are going to. That makes you a marriage illiterate. Likewise, if your husband cannot lead you, you can't follow your husband, you want to take the lead, you are an illiterate. You believe it is your wife or your husband that is having problem, but you don't have any problem. I've seen this over and over, especially from husbands. Many husbands will send their wife to my office for counsel. And if you say, I want to see your husband, they will say my husband cannot come. My husband say, I'm the one that is having problem, I should go and seek help. Come on. Most of the time I will speak to the husband on phone. Sir, you sent your wife here? Yes, I sent her here. Help me talk sense to her head. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know nothing about marriage. I allow you to talk to her and counsel her. And I will tell them, please, you will need to see me in the office. Somebody say, no. I don't need to come. I'm trying my best. I pay the house rent. I pay the school fees. I'm feeding this woman. Every area, anybody should take care of his wife. I'm doing my best. And I will insist, sir, marriage is more than school fees. Marriage is more than house rent. Marriage is more than feeding a woman. Can I see you in my office? The one that is not illiterate among them will come. But the illiterate will refuse to come. Are you an illiterate or you are a marriage literate? You need to ask yourself. You don't date your spouse again. A lot of people believe that dating stops after yes, I do. They believe that you can date a woman when you are planning to marry her, when you are trying to toast her, but immediately after you take her to the altar, dating stops. You see, when you stop dating in your marriage becomes outdated. You don't know about THH. You don't know about THH. Many of us are hearing it for the first time. What is THH? THH means touching, holding, and hugging. Touching, holding, and hugging. As small as they look, they are the master planner for a successful marriage. You can hardly see an average couple holding hands, touching each other. Hugging is an anathema among a lot of couples. You hardly see them hugging each other. It's like it's a taboo. Wow. When you don't know about THA, you don't discover that you are drifting apart every day. You don't know anything about drifting in marriage. You don't know anything about drifting in marriage. You've been married for years and you are hearing the word drifting for the first time. Drifting is a system whereby both of you are growing apart. Instead of growing together and become more bonded and intimate and standing together as a team in a union, you are drifting from each other. It's like you are going this way, going this way. The older your marriage become, the farther you depart from each other. That is why older couple at times can be very difficult to handle because they departed from each other a long time ago. For you to make them to sit down together to talk is a lot of trouble because they don't even know how to communicate again. When you talk about dating, they will say, that one is meant for young couples or people that want to get married. Illiterate people. Though they went to school. They've been in marriage. I think I'm talking to somebody now. You begin to see yourself whether you are marriage illiterate or not and stop bragging. Our marriage is 35 years old. Our marriage is 40 years old. 40 years of stupidity, 40 years of nonsense, 40 years of daily battle of hatred and bitterness. You've got to do something and learn about marriage. You know nothing about ITT. You know nothing about ITT. A lot of couples that are watching this, they are hearing all these things for the first time. THA, dating, ITT, metamorphosis. They are hearing all these things for the first time. That makes you an illiterate. What is ITT? ITT is intimate talking time. Intimate talking time is the period you set aside just to sit down, to talk with your wife, to talk with your husband. Intimately, not that you are fighting. It's like you are having business meeting for your marriage. Every Monday, a lot of organizations do have meetings. They are not fighting. There's no trouble in those organizations, but they set aside to deliberately, intentionally talk together. Likewise, in a great marriage, ITT is the rule, is the time to talk together intimately, to move the marriage forward, to get better in that marriage. If you are not doing this, you are a marriage illiterate.
Family Lifeline.
Thank you for joining me in this telecast. If you want to watch this telecast again, please go to my YouTube channel at Bisi Adewale. Watch it over and over again and groom yourself and grow yourself. And I will encourage you to get many of our books on familiarbooks.com. Download them. Everything I mentioned in this episode, I have books about them. Go and download them so that you can increase yourself, you can improve yourself, and be a better partner. Also follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter at Bisi Adewale. When you do that, you will be able to be informed more about marriage and grow from illiteracy to literacy. Also, visit my blog every day, bisiadewale.com. Visit this blog to learn more about our programs and about so many things about marriage. Get a lot of quality articles and improve yourself. Thank you again for joining me. You see, your family life is very important. Take good care of your marriage.
Family Lifeline
0806-831-2004. Family Lifeline. Building families, molding destiny.
Family Lifeline.